Well, hello, YouTube. Good afternoon or good evening, or whenever you're watching this in the future. My name is Patrick Donahue, and it's the end of the year. Over Christmas, we celebrate Christmas. Got a few presents, and I thought it was pretty funny that one of them from my in-laws was rocks from the trash, basically, where they have a neighbor that moved a couple of years ago and threw a bunch of their rock collection out onto the curb. And it's been sitting there for all this time. And they finally worked up the nerve to go and pick it up and sort through some of it and sent it my way for Christmas. So if we can move things over here, this is the thumbnail for the video of just a bunch of random assortment of rocks. And I pulled out one of them here. I figure we'll go through and see what's in there. There's some interesting stuff in here, including this nice piece of obsidian, mahogany obsidian with good red coloring. I have a little bit of this, but every piece is unique and can be used for different things. So I'll be doing something with this. I might be able to trim some of it off with my 6-inch trim saw, but I might need a bigger saw to do anything beefier with this piece. And this one here, there's the good green color. My wife had suggested I make a video demonstrating how much better rocks look wet versus dry. And I think this piece really exemplifies that with, this coloration versus that. I know this is a cut face, but you saw how it looked before. It looks kind of like a serpentinite, something. It's not translucent. I tested this one already. But that could be an interesting cab or two. And I'm doing this as a live because it's a lot easier than editing a video. Just show the rocks and move on. This is a jasper agglomeration. There's a couple of little pieces inside of a matrix, and there's a bigger piece over here with an interesting texture on the back. Doesn't quite come across in the video, but it's kind of hatchy, I would say, hash mark-like-ish. Looks a little bit friable, so I don't know what I can do with that really. And this piece I thought was a bit of opal at first, and then I stuck a pen light to it, and it glows a nice orange. Actually, so it could be a quartzite. It's got a little bit of opal-y luster to it, though. I'll have to test the hardness, but I think it might be quartz, actually, like a sea maggot. Or if you're watching this with YouTube captions, sea maggot. And this is the one I thought that piece was. This one glows really bright. Got to get just a little bit of glow. You can see it coming through, all the way through that piece. Inside there, it's nice bright white and looks pretty clear. Nice piece of clear agate. And this one on this side has a bit of, it might be muscovite. Hi, Ragnar. Or Captain Cortez. I'm just going through some rocks that my in-laws gave me for Christmas, which or basically from the trash from their neighbor. There's some interesting stuff in there. Hey, Adventure Closet. So this is a really nice agate with some interesting texture as well, if I can get it kind of side lit. Kind of that, I think, host impression is what causes that. Some neat textures on there. So I don't know if I'll do anything with this one, partially because it's fairly thin, but I mean, it's super clear, or translucent, I guess I should say. I don't know about Spokane, but down here in the Tri-Cities, we've been melting for the last couple of days, so the roads in our lawn is mostly clear. Fortunately, because it's going to freeze again, so it would be bad if it was still. We've had a lot of freezing rain. Yeah, we hit about 50 here too. This is a nice slab of some kind of conglomerate breccia type thing with just a little bit of translucency in some of the matrix. So it's probably quartz or agatized in between there. But I really like this contrast. Actually, there's a bit of a druzy pocket right there. And this one is a probably river rounded basalt that's been sliced and actually polished decently, where these little brown things are phenocrysts. I was going to call them porphyroblasts, but they're phenocrysts, so this is a porphyritic rock, which is the word I was thinking of, because it has larger crystals inside a very fine-grained ground mass. But it's pretty heavy for its size. I thought it was something weird at first, but I'm pretty sure it's basalt. You know, yeah, it really does. It's like Jared says, you know, basalt doesn't get enough credit for what you can do with it. And that's actually another reason, I'll leave this piece up for a second another reason I wanted to do a live today was because on Jared's Saturday night special, he talked about an upcoming tour, and I was fairly certain it was the one that he posted today, which was of my local lapidary guru, expert, mentor, Mike Zinski, his workshop, which if you haven't seen that video, definitely watch this now or after you leave this channel. He has just an amazing shop of faceting, cabbing, saws, and he's doing a lot of 3D printing of lapidary and faceting pieces, which I've shown on my channel a couple times. Like I have this 3D printed lap stand that he made that I've been using, and it works great, and it has just enough spaces for the laps that I use mostly, or that I've used. My laps just fit in there, and it has, you know, a little container that slides in, drawer that slides in and out that I've used. And let's see, I have those little, he mentioned in his shop, some clips that he has on the back of some of his machines for acrylic to reduce the splash. And I have those, but I haven't worked up the courage to drill holes in my faceting machine yet to mount that. But I have a splash bucket, and he 3D printed this little splash guard for doing the girdle. When you lay it down, you have a 90-degree of your DOP coming in like this, so you can have a little gap. whereas before it was this hunky aluminum tech kind of thing. And yeah, Mike deserves like all the attention and love that he's getting in the comments on that video. So I'm glad that's out there now. And so this is I'm pretty sure a piece of picture jasper. I don't know if there's a lot of varieties out there, but from the outside I would say that is. And it's interesting that they polished the face of this big hunkin' piece. So I wonder if they were working their way through it, polishing, looking for that perfect slice before moving on to the next one. But it's a nice little, kind of dusky nighttime scene of desert and the night sky, perhaps. And I'll put the last two pieces up since they're big. These are really nice druzy in this pocket here, quartz and calcite. I don't think we'll be able to see, but I can try. I have a weak UV flashlight. And yeah, it's just going to look purple in the light. You can see it, I think, just a little bit right here where my thumb is. There's a bit of orange that's reacting. But on this side, in the dark anyway, the botryoidal calcite here glows lightly with orange. You want to cut this one? Yeah, I eventually need to get a UV beast. Just something, this is a little, I think like $5 or $10 365 nanometer from Amazon that I got as kind of a stocking stuffer a couple of years ago. I'm not really sure how best to cut this one. I don't think I could really do it on my saw here. But, that pocket's pretty cool. And last but not least, my favorite piece from the collection, although it's kind of tied maybe with the obsidian was the first piece I showed before a couple people showed up, a nice mahogany obsidian. This is a honkin' petrified wood limb section, which has beautiful rings. I forgot I had water. Beautiful rings, texture. I'll zoom in just a little bit and try to show it off a little bit. And then this is a mixture of, I think, quartz and calcite along the outside. There's a little bit of an orange glow in some of it, but not all of it, so I don't think it's all calcite. But yeah, I don't know where this is from. I don't know where any of these are from because they were just by the roadside, basically. Oh yeah, you can see it kind of glowing in there a bit. I don't think you can't go all the way through because it's so thick. But coming in from the side, I think a little thin-ish slab of that would be really cool, showing off some of the rings, but also the translucency of the quartz and calcite. So yeah, that's the, I can zoom out just a little bit. Those were the rocks that I got for Christmas. Every year there's something in the underneath the tree that's rock related for me. A couple other things as well. And before I end it, this is what's on the DOP right now. It won't look as good as when it's finished, but it is there's some color. It's a bit of amethyst actually cut in the design that Mike Zinsky made. So his design is the reverse brilliant, which has a modification for quartz. You can contact him if you facet and you are interested in the design, but this is the, if I zoom in here a bit, I just have to I've polished everything. I just have to cut the table down and polish that. It'll be a nice lavender purple color. And this is the design that I made the rutilated quartz that I sent to the Dude Rolls Rocks who won the giveaway. It was that same cut, just in rutilated quartz. And I've cut that in a lot of styles. That was the first design that I cut, actually. So this is the first stone that I ever cut over at Mike Zinsky's. It's a neodymium yag in his design, this is for garnet, so it's slightly different angles. But you know, it looks great in just about any stone that you cut it in, that I've cut it in. I think I showed this off when I was on the Rockhound podcast a while back. But it's got a lot of flash, and he's shown me his cut in this yag, both with his cut, but also with kind of the standard round brilliant. And I really think that I like his cut better than the standard brilliant, at least for yag. But the amethyst should look kind of similar to this, kind of the light purple, pinkish. I left a really thick girdle on that one because that was my first stone. I didn't want to chance too much here. But I'll have to clean that off now since I touched it. And so, yeah, I think that was, thank you, Charlie and or whoever I'm talking to there. I suppose both. Liz, maybe. You have an amethyst obsession? I don't cut quartz like amethyst a lot because it's I find it very slow to cut, and it has a lot of trouble with what are called cat hair scratches, where it's very fine scratches on the facets that just kind of pop up as the stone kind of grinds away. It basically scratches itself sometimes, and it could be kind of a pain. But I have cut a couple of them, and they do look nice once they are finished. This one, hello to both of you. Yeah, so this one will not focus on it. This one does have a slight fracture along one of the edges over here. So I don't think it'll affect the quality of the stone. It's held together really well up to this point. Oh yeah, amethyst geodes they're really nice. In my Q&A video the other day, I mentioned some of the stones that I have back waiting for me in New York whenever I manage to get them. And there's some nice amethyst partial geodes over there with like big honkin', quartz pieces, like, or the crystal faces themselves are like that big inside the geode. They're, fistful size geodes, partials, but still. My computer's too far away to get it, or else I would show it. But yeah, so that was it. I'm definitely going to do a video once I get those in hand again, or when I visit home again. Hello, Corey. I was actually just finishing up going through some rocks that I got for Christmas. The geologist Christmas of rocks. Who else looks forward to coal in their stocking, as long as it's, got a lot of bitumen in it. Anthracite, yeah, I couldn't think of the word. No, I didn't get any coal this year. I was too good. So I guess unless anybody else has any questions or comments, I'll end it in a minute here. And thank you all again for joining me on this little live. I think I mentioned it early in the video, but the lives are actually kind of nice. I don't have to edit a video, and we can talk a little bit about what I'm showing, what I'm doing. It doesn't work for all types of videos, but I don't know if you guys watch, but I watch pretty much all of Nick Zentner's videos. Not always the premiere, but all his lives, and the back and forth in the chat is always fun to see people answering questions. Corey has one more question, so we'll pause momentarily. Everybody should love Nick Zentner if you haven't heard of him. Do you facet gems for people? I haven't faceted things that people, or I haven't started a commission faceting side of my business yet. I do have a business license now, so I'm selling rocks or selling faceted gemstones both on Etsy and a site called Coffee, which is linked down below, which has a donate option, and also just a shop portion that I have stones listed in both. But I haven't faceted stones for people that they've sent me because there's some liability with like me getting the stones, having to be accountable for what it is and what the person might expect for the stone that they give me. And if it's not up to their standards, then, well, what do you do about that? And those kind of things. So I'm kind of cutting what I like for now and trying to sell those, although I know commissions may be in the future at some point. Just gotta hone my skills a little bit more before I open that, I think. But, oh yeah, and so my channel name is still Patrick Donahue, but pretty much everything else is now Donahue Labs, like my Etsy and coffee shop. And that's because I wanted to leave things open in case I did something other than, just faceting stuff, where if I end up selling some slabs or pieces or just like rocks or something, I'll be keeping this one for sure, but I have plenty of other rocks or like star garnets or something, And also, having been to Mike's shop a few times and seeing his 3D printing wizardry, I was like, oh, maybe I need to like get a 3D printer at some point and sell these on eBay or Etsy for like $20 or whatever it is. Mike will make them for free or at cost or shipping and all that stuff, but not everyone knows Mike or it has the ability to contact him. So if they search the internet and see, oh, somebody has this lap for sale, this lap case for sale, or all his, I wouldn't take his stuff that he designed and made and sell it for my own personal profit. I would have to think of something else to print, which Mike has all the good ideas already, it seems. I just got to think on that a little bit more, but leaving things open for 3D printing or cabbing or future expansion of the Donahue mega empire, which you're all in at the ground level if you want to invest. Okay, well, with that said, thank you all again for joining me, and definitely whoever was chatting in the video, everybody that's watching this video after the fact, go check out the live chat, and most everybody has a channel to go check out. And be sure to like and subscribe to this video, and I hope to see you in the future. Happy New Year's as well, Ragnar and everybody else.